Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about the Milwaukee Bucks off-season. We're going to be talking about the events that have happened, some of the rumors that are going on, and I'm going to be talking about why this off-season might be one of the most important off-seasons in Milwaukee Bucks history. Let's get into it. The first big piece of news is that Thanasis has re-signed for the Milwaukee Bucks. I like this move for the Bucks. You can see, especially in the start of last season, that the Milwaukee Bucks sorely missed Thanasis Antetokounmpo's energy, the vibes he brings. And for me, Giannis functions at his best when Thanasis is on the team. So this is a great move for the Bucks. This guy is a mentor. This guy will bring the energy. This guy will bring the correct vibes. He will talk to everyone. He will make sure everybody is in check. So this is a very good move for the Bucks. But this means that the Bucks roster is full and that Andre Jackson Jr. and Amir Coffey are fighting for that last spot. And based on the news, it looks like Andre Jackson Jr. might get waived. It seemed as if the Milwaukee Bucks tried trading for him, and the most they got was 2 second-round picks. And if I'm the Bucks, I would have taken that straight away. But now it looks like they're trying to waive him. What are my thoughts on this? I think it's deserved. Even though he showed some really good flashes of defense, especially last season, offensively he's such a liability. He doesn't look at the rim at all. Even if he has a wide open lane for a layup, he will never take that option. And in the NBA, if you're a liability offensively, you cannot go on the court, no matter how good your defense is. And in my opinion, Andre Jackson Jr., for the years he's been in the NBA, hasn't improved on anything. He hasn't added to his game. And at the highest level, you need to keep evolving. You need to keep adding to your game. And Andre Jackson Jr. has failed to do this. So I would not be surprised at all if Andre Jackson Jr. gets waived in the coming future. There have also been a lot of trade rumors regarding the Bucks as well. And two of the main names that have come up recently are Anfernee Simons and DeMar DeRozan. Let's talk about Anfernee Simons first. So the most realistic deal is probably a Kyle Kuzma for an Anfernee Simons, or a Kyle Kuzma and an Andre Jackson Jr. for an Anfernee Simons. I'm not sure why the Boston Celtics want either of our players. Maybe it's to tank as much as possible so they can get the highest pick possible. But that's the only viable reason I can see why. In terms of his fit with the Bucks, Anfernee Simons, he's a dynamic and talented scorer. He's a very good three-point shooter. Very good scorer in the clutch as well. And in my opinion, he's an underrated playmaker. The one thing that intrigues me about Anfernee Simons is that he can play on ball and off ball. Especially with the season where Dame averaged 32 points. I believe this was 2 seasons ago. He was very good at playing off ball. And with Giannis Antetokounmpo, if you can play off ball, you can succeed because Giannis's gravity is insane, and Anfernee Simons, in my opinion, can thrive off of that. However, he is a very poor defender. He's small, can get picked on, and can get bullied. And for the Milwaukee Bucks, are the Bucks willing to take on a player with such defensive liability? I don't think so. And I think he's more of an off-the-bench scoring spark type of player, and I think the Milwaukee Bucks have got many of those options. You look at Cole Anthony, Kevin Porter Jr. I feel like both of those guys can be dynamic scorers like an Anfernee Simons. Sure, Anfernee Simons is more proven. He's racked up multiple 20 points per game seasons, but I think KPJ and Cole Anthony can fill that void of being that talented scorer, those unpredictable and dynamic scorers. So I really don't think that the Milwaukee Bucks need Anfernee Simons. Another player the Bucks are linked with is DeMar DeRozan. I don't need to go too much into DeMar DeRozan. He's one of the most established players in the NBA, has got a lot of experience and has been in the NBA for a very long time. But just to go through some of his traits, he's a mid-range assassin, one of the best mid-range shooters of all time. He's a good playmaker and he's very durable. Last season, I think he played 74 games, and if you look at his career, for most seasons, he does play over 70 games. And DeMar barely picks up any injuries, which is very, very impressive. And people don't talk about his durability enough. He's a consistent bucket getter, gets to his spot with ease, raises and shoots. He does this, he breathes this, it's like second nature to him. He's a clutch scorer, not afraid of the moment at all, can be a secondary option next to Giannis. However, he is an older player. Age is not on DeMar DeRozan's side and he is on a big money contract. So if the Bucks are looking at him, is it really worth it? And his mid-range volume is too high. In today's NBA, you can only take a certain amount of mid-range. Even Shea doesn't take as many mid-range shots as DeMar DeRozan. The amount of mid-range shots DeMar DeRozan takes is absolutely ridiculous. I think he takes more than double Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's mid-range attempts. And for me, that's not a sustainable offense, and that's not an offense that translates to modern NBA basketball. And another problem with DeMar DeRozan is that he slows the game down. He wants to get his isolations. He wants to play in the post, and he's going to dribble the hell out of the basketball. So he's going to slow down that Milwaukee Bucks offense. And in terms of the Bucks, they're trying to get younger. They're trying to get faster. And DeMar DeRozan doesn't really fit that mold. And a big concern and a big poor trait about the Bucks was that they were an elderly team. They were aging, they were slow, and why would the Bucks want to revert back to that identity by going for a guy like DeMar DeRozan? It doesn't really make sense to me. So the two guys that the Bucks are linked with right now in Anfernee Simons and DeMar DeRozan, in my opinion, are not good fits. So what do the Milwaukee Bucks actually need? In my opinion, the Bucks need a 3-and-D wing and a secondary scoring option. And the guy on my screen, he fits both of these criteria. Trey Murphy III would be the perfect, I repeat, the perfect option for the Milwaukee Bucks. However, the Bucks do not have the assets to get Trey Murphy, so in my opinion, he is unattainable. In terms of other wings who can fill the role, you could say Andrew Wiggins, Keegan Murray, Dylan Brooks potentially. However, these guys are going to be very hard to get. So I'm not too sure how the Bucks are going to get the three that they sorely need, but this is exactly what they need in order to complete the roster and for them to become a true contender. So, why is it important for the Milwaukee Bucks to be aggressive this offseason? Look, the competition in the Eastern Conference is at its weakest right now, and at its weakest it will ever be. You look at the Boston Celtics with Jason Tatum having his injury, they're out of the picture. You look at the Indiana Pacers with Tyrese Halliburton's injury, they are out of the picture. There are very few true contenders in the East right now. The only two contenders that I can say are definitely contenders are the Cleveland Cavaliers and the New York Knicks. After those two teams, it's up for grabs. And those two teams are very flawed as well. So if there's any moment to capitalize, if there is any moment to get in as many useful trades as possible, it is now. Because Giannis' prime, we're at the back end of it. And it's important to maximize these years as much as possible. And especially the upcoming season, it is important for the Bucks to take advantage and become a true contender, because the competition isn't at its greatest. And I like the business that the Milwaukee Bucks have done. Getting Cole Anthony, re-signing guys like KPJ, Gary Trent Jr., Ryan Rollins, getting a Miles Turner. It's made the Bucks a lot more younger. It's given the Bucks a new lease of life. It's given the Bucks a new identity of being a younger and a faster team. And that's something that the Bucks have sorely needed, because you look at the playoffs the last couple of years, even the regular season, the Bucks have become a slow, old, predictable team. Now, having these new players, it brings a new identity to the Bucks. It makes them a dark horse. And teams, they don't know what the Bucks are going to come with now. They have to predict, they have to anticipate. Whereas the Milwaukee Bucks, Previously, they were established. Everybody knows what the Bucks were going to do. Giannis and Dame, they're going to do their things, and the rest of the role players, they're going to sit there and stand and watch. So, the Bucks have done a very good job of rebuilding this team, and it is extremely important not to be satisfied, but try and improve the team. Try and get that 3-and-D wing. Try and get that secondary option. Because if there's any time to be aggressive in the off-season, it is going to be now. It's now or never for the Milwaukee Bucks. They need to capitalize. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and peace.